Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a few days since I posted a video, so I'm so excited for this one. I've been really busy with revival at my church last week and just doing different things, trying new things, and trying to work out a video for you guys. So today we're going to do a altered index card tutorial. I know there's literally a billion videos out there of this. But I was watching Shanuki, I believe that's how she pronounces her channel. I'm not really sure. Her name's Shauna though. I was watching one of her older videos that I've had saved forever, and was watching her do her altered index cards and was very inspired by what she was doing, and I thought I would show you guys how I do it, my take on her classic altered index card. Her style, if you haven't checked her out, she's really popular, so you probably know her, but her style is literally the most gorgeous style that I've ever seen in a junk journal. It's between her and 49 Dragonflies. Those two channels are my absolute favorite when it comes to junk journaling and mixed media art. And I typically am not mixed media. I have been sort of simple in my designs up to this point. I've only been doing this for, a little over a year now. And I have started to move toward the mixed media route. So Shanuki and 49 Dragonflies have really inspired me lately to do different things. And I've tried to do these index cards before. I lost interest. I didn't do them right. I shelved them and went on about life. And so today I have a few that I've done yesterday and finished up a little bit of them this morning. I wanted to show you guys those and show you how I create the effect and do the card and all the things. So you will need a few things for this tutorial. You will need a stencil of some type. I prefer dots or splotches or plants, like leaves or something, but I went with this because it's neutral. It can be used in 1,000 different ways, and you would never really know it was the same stencil. You're going to need a paper towel or some type of applicator. Shanuki, I'm just going to call her Shauna. Shauna used a foam, like a makeup applicator, but I don't have one of those, so I'm using a paper towel. You can use whatever, works for you, that's fine. You're going to need some index cards. Mine are blank on both sides, but if you don't have those, you can use the lined ones. I just don't like the blue lines that are on the back of the altered index cards. I like them sometimes, but for this project, I just like it simple, blank. I can use it for 100,000 things. And then you're going to need Distress Oxide. I have Vintage Photo, and of course it's upside down, Ground Espresso. Shauna used various colors in vintage tones for hers, but I don't have all that, so we're just gonna go with what I have here. So yeah, if you got all that, which I'm sure you do if you're an avid crafter like me, let's start working on some backgrounds, and then I will show you how to add to the background and make it your own and add sentiment and focal point and all that, and how to use it in your journal. So let's move this out of the way. I do apologize for the glare from the foil. Sorry, that's wet. That's the only thing that I have that's waterproof. That will work for this. So, yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot. You're gonna need something waterproof. plastic, glass, what have you. And I'll show you why in a minute. So I'm working on this journal. It's made from a calendar page, a 2025 calendar that I got at Joann's for like half off or something like that, because she's going out of business, or that company's going out of business. And then I just glued it onto some Amazon packaging. Anyway, we're not going to go super into detail about this because I will do a tutorial later. But I'm kind of going with like a nature themed. So it's filled with all kind of colors and things like that. So I wanted to do some colorful index cards to put in the journal for pockets or journaling space, or literally what you can use them a million ways. So these are very versatile. Shauna said to, in her video, she just did a whole bunch of them, and she said to do a bunch of them, mass make them, and, you know, put them to the side and do how, you know, do it based on the theme of the journal that you're working on. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm doing a lot at one time, mass making, because I don't really have a whole lot of embellishments laying around. I'm kind of one of those that just goes with the flow and I make as I go. But I've noticed that I'm struggling with creativity when I do that. So when I'm in these creative modes, I tend to just do a whole lot of mass making. So I'm not trying to talk you to death. So let's get to it. I'm only going to do a few of these because I already have a billion over here to the side. And I'll show you those in a minute. I'm just doing this simply for the tutorial sake. So you guys know what to do. So the way that I like to do it, I need to tear some of that off. Some paper towel. She used liquid. But if you don't have liquid and you have the pads like me, these work too, and I'll show you how. So you take and you just smush it, just like that. Squirt just a little bit of water. Take your index card and then splotch it. And every time you do this, it's going to be different. No two cards are the same, and that's what I love. That's what I love about it. No matter what you do, no matter how many times you do it, they're all different. Look at that. It's gorgeous. So I'm going to need just a little bit more. I don't want to put it in the water, though. There we go. That's just preference. A little bit of water again. Splotch, splotch, splotch. Oh, look at that gorgeous color. This is very addictive. I just want you to know. This is extremely, extremely addictive. I've already done 4 and I want to keep going. But for the sake of the video, I'm not going to be able to do that. I like to let these dry for a minute before I start adding the ground espresso, typically. But for the video, we're just going to go with it and we'll see how it turns out. I'm only going to do 4 of these because I don't have a lot of time. And I don't want this video to be an hour long. I don't want to have to do a whole lot of editing either with time and all that. So we'll set these over here. Let's get ground espresso, which is literally, everybody loves the vintage photo, and I do too. But man, oh man, I love this ground espresso. It's such a deep, dark coffee color, and it's just, love it. Just want to make sure you get a little bit of everything. I love this. They're all just so gorgeous. And with these, since they're neutral toned, you can use them in so many ways. A neutral journal, or you can, when you go to add your your focal point and things like that. You can make it based on your theme, whether it be animals, botanical, you know, whatever. There's so many options. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Okay. And I don't know the correct term for this, but since this ink, I really don't know how to say it. Anyway, I like splotches. So I'm going to squirt, if you don't like splotches, that's fine. I'm going to squirt a little bit of water on these and let it sit for just a couple of seconds, and then take my paper towel and dab it off. And you're going to see some of the ink lift off the page. So it's going to look like white spots. And I love that. It's going to be faint though. We'll add more white spots later. You can see how it's... Can you see how it's already changing? It makes it look grungy and just so interesting. Oh, I love that. Drying up some of that water. Alright, there you go. It looks kind of like rust. I love that. Beautiful. For like a mixed media element to this, there's a lot of greens and purples and pinks in my journal, so I'm going to use the stencil and add some color. Today we're going to use purple because there's a little bit of purple in my journal and I want to make sure it kind of flows together. So we're not doing the whole card now, we're just doing a little bit just to give it a little bit of interest. We need just a smidge of this. I do not like to waste paint. Paper towel or foam applicator, whatever you got going on. Dab it just a little. I'm going to put some in this corner right here, and then we're just going to dab it. I like the fact that it's not completely filling out the whole circle. It's just splotching. Just a little bit. All it needs is just a little bit. And it's beautiful. I may have gotten too much. This is a wonderful mass make project. You can sit down, get all your supplies together, and get in the groove and start creating. I just don't have the time to do that today. My kiddos are running about, so I want to keep an eye on them as much as I can. I'm going to do a little bit more in this corner right here. Beautiful. Let's move that. We don't need that anymore. Okay, so let me show you what I did yesterday. Here's some that I did. I did way too many, honestly, for this journal. I'm not going to use all these. But they make great backgrounds. Now, if you'll notice, you see darker white spots. That's actually from white paint that I watered down and just dabbed with a paintbrush, just splattered it. This one is probably my favorite of all. I added some watercolor, well, watered down acrylic, and it was just blue and green in places. And then when it dried, I went back and did some ground espresso, and it made this beautiful rust. Oh, I just love it. And then I added a little bit of gold accent, and I was trying to work out another stencil in gold to just give it a little bit more of a mixed media kind of thing. And that one too, I don't know if you can see the gold, but I just didn't like the way it turned out. It is interesting now that it is dried, but I don't know if I'll be doing that again. I definitely can work that in some other way though. So let's decorate a few of these. I grabbed a few things to work with. We're going to add some script writing in spots just to give it a bit of interest. Before I do that though, we're going to draw an edge. Doesn't have to be perfect. This is what she does, and I love that effect. I love the handcrafted element that it adds to the piece. I've had to switch to voiceover because my kids were being really loud and rambunctious during this part of the process. So I'm just going to walk you through it. I am adding tidbits of paper to the corner to give it a bit of an interest. And I'm grabbing cheesecloth and putting it the right size that I want it. And then I'm adding a little bit of black embroidery thread that I'm just tearing apart, making it a smaller thread, bunching it up, and putting that down. Here in just a second, you'll see me try to figure out what kind of focal point that I want to have, and I ultimately end up with a butterfly, but we'll get to that in a minute. I'm just trying to figure out how I want it. I try not to spend so much time on figuring things out, but at least for the very first one, I wanted to figure out how I wanted to do it. So I was going through the butterflies, but now I am grabbing out a word and trying to find something that actually matches this card. I have so many words, so it's kind of hard to figure out. And I also like to back my words on some white index card and cut it out and ink the edges to give it just a little bit of a pop. I like for it to be sort of lifted off the card. I chose wandering, which is fitting because of butterflies. They just seem to be moseying along and wandering and all the things. Now I'm grabbing a transfer number. Basically, they're kind of like kids' tattoos, in my opinion. If you've never worked with one, you just kind of rub it off, and it sticks, and it's really pretty. I like the effect that it has on it. I chose the number 9, and here I am putting pressure and lifting it off very slowly to make sure all of the number is down. Like I said, I go with that pretty orange butterfly. It just makes that card stand out so much more. And there was a little bit of a cheesecloth hanging off that I didn't like, so I ended up gluing that down. This next card, I am trying to figure out a different way to do the same thing, if that makes sense. I'm not going to talk through this part because I've already talked through the first card. So put on some music, put on a podcast, whatever you want to listen to, and just enjoy this part of the video of me creating and doing different things. Hopefully it inspires you to do your own index card as well. You'll see me add lace on this next card. I actually meant to add lace in the card before, but completely forgot about it with all the other things going on. So yes, be sure to include that lace. It adds another element and it's so special and beautiful. If you haven't noticed already, I love butterflies. So I have thousands of different kinds of butterflies in various colors. So you'll see me pull out all kinds in this video. So I noticed that I completely forgot to add glue to the back of that sticker. There's no way that sticker glue is going to hold down cheesecloth. So I correct that and make sure it's stuck down really well. I like to talk with my hands. So you'll notice here I'm moving my fingers and hands and things like that. It's because I'm actually speaking in this part of the video. I had planned on that being part of this video, but because of my children, I decided to do a voiceover instead. So just ignore the crazy hands. Here I'm actually talking about the last sheet of black stickers that I have. For some reason it's like a holiday themed, so it's like Easter and birthday, and there's not really a whole lot of words that I can use for things like this. So I'm basically just saying, yeah, there's a lot of words I can't use here, and I finally find one. I'm finishing up the last bit on this card. In the next portion of this video, I am inviting everyone to my Facebook group called Inked Edges by Amber's Journals. I explain that it's a fun group. We do challenges and different things and show off what we do every day, this hobby that we love so much. So be sure to check out Inked Edges, and all of that information will be linked in the description box, as well as my Shopify store to download various digital kits that I do. Thank you all so much for joining me for this tutorial. I hope it inspires you to do your very own mixed media index cards. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I really appreciate all of you that are already subscribed. Please like, share, and comment on this video so we can get it pushed out to more people. YouTube is really doing a good job of getting my stuff out there to people, but I would really love for my channel to grow more. So share it with your friends, and I hope it inspires everyone to do something fun today. Let's do something that we enjoy and be happy. Times are tough, life's a little hard right now, but let's all be happy and do the things that we love the most. Again, thank you so much for being here, so much for your support. I appreciate every single one of you so, so, so much. I will see you next time. Take care.